First is that when you are at your assigned altitude, there is a plus minus of 200 feet. So now, if you are not flying at your assigned altitude, now that separation becomes even closer. Now you are almost in for a head-on collision. So that is something you have to be aware. So QNH setting is very important. Okay? Now, coming to here, this is your radio. All your frequencies are set from here. Alright? And for your radio navigation instrument is by using this. Alright? This is your ATC transponder. Now, ATC transponder, there is two modes. One is standby, right? Standby. The other one is altitude mode. On the ground, we'll select it to standby mode. On standby mode, in the control tower, they will see us as a dot. An aircraft is there on the ground. Alright? Now, once we line up for takeoff, we will select it to altitude mode, which is mode Charlie. Alright? And they will have our altitude reading also. They will know that we are there and what is the altitude that we are flying. Okay? And that is a mandatory requirement. Okay? Other than that, here is your fuel indicators. Alright, we'll check for fuel. Alright? But besides this, the ground guys also has done a visual check by using a drip stick. Okay? And this is your engine temperature and pressure. Alright? Now during the initial startup, because this is the first flight, it will be a bit cold. So what we'll do is that we will use the primer. This primer is like a choke, like the olden days car, you know. You pull the choke and then try and start. Alright? Same thing. Alright? We'll maybe pull the choke 2 times so that when we start, we have an easy start. Okay? Now here are all your exterior navigation lights. Alright? From your left, your wing and your rudders. Okay? And this is your mixture. Okay? Push in, pull out. Okay, set it to reach. Okay, in is the reach. Reach position lah. This is your flaps. Okay, and basically these are all your light switches, your circuit breakers. Make sure all your circuit breakers must be in. If it's pop out, like your choke, yeah, your initial choke. Alright, okay, like the olden days car. Alright, same. Your park brakes now is not set. Alright. Your start key is here. This is where we'll do the start. And this is all your exterior lights. Exterior lights are all down here. Alright, taxi lights, landing lights, strobe lights, nav lights, beacon lights, okay, are all down here. Alright, and these are all your circuit breakers here. Make sure all your circuit breakers are in. Carburetor heat, we will not be using carburetor heat. The function of a carburetor heat is when you are on a prolonged cruising or a prolonged descent at a engine set at idle power, you don't want to have carburetor icing. So that is when we'll pull the carburetor heat to have hot air going into the carburetor to prevent it from icing. Okay? Which we will not be doing any of those stunts today. Alright? This is your throttle. This is where you go. Full power, takeoff power. Complete idle. Now for initial start, you'll be 1/4 in, and this is a lock nut. Just to lock it in place. Alright? This is not like the commercial aircraft where they use the throttle levers, the power levers. Alright? This is our special power lever here. Alright? This is a mixture lever. Full reach. Complete cutout. This is to shut down the engine. You pull it out completely. We are not going to shut down the engine in flight, so we'll keep it always in the reach position. These are your flap levers. Like I say, flaps 10, 20, 30, 40. Depending on what we are doing, we will select the flap accordingly. Alright?
And this is elevator trim.
This is a very important item here, which we will set for takeoff config, because we're going to do a takeoff. Basically, this is a trim. When we are flying, once we are on straight and level flight, you will feel a air load. During the whole flight, you will feel air load, alright, on your control columns, like you are trying to maintain a certain load. Now, when we trim it, you will feel like you can just now release your hand, and the controls will stay there.
It's just like autopilot.
Exactly, but this is not an autopilot. Autopilot are digital, electrical, okay, sensed by computer, and computer picks it up. This is a manual autopilot. Okay, the only time now you have trimmed the aircraft, you can release your hands from the controls, but just to see how the trim effect is, alright. But at any one point in time, you always have to be in control of the aircraft. Okay, So now we have trimmed the aircraft, and now when we fly the aircraft, it's actually just slightly with 2 fingers. Don't struggle with the aircraft. Don't fight with it. Treat it like your girlfriend or like your husband. Okay? You fight with it, it will fight back with you. You pull, it will react. You go like this, it will also react according to your input. This is a mechanical, purely mechanical direct input.
Right.
Okay? Any reaction you give, it's going to react according to you.
Correct.
Okay? So
How is it?
I think your guys, you're more adventurous, maybe.
Oh, this and
I
that.
am scared.
Like roller coaster.
Then you see the road.
more.
Hảo爽啊！我唔知講咩好，去到Tamanul，去到Mid Valley，去到KL，跟住攞翻轉頭，已經大家好。Gotta get that, gotta get that, gotta get that, gotta get that, boom boom boom, 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 that boom boom boom, that boom.